Hello, everyone, and welcome to the program Talk Sport here on Global Television. I am Samuel Odi. Still in the spirit of celebration, happy holidays, and I would say happy New Year to the second day to you all watching at home. Today is the second day of January 2026, a beautiful year that the Lord has made, and we are all glad to be in it and glad to also talk sports because there is so much happening. We witnessed a lot of success in the Nigerian sporting ecosystem last year, 2025, and the chairman of the National Sports Commission, Alhaji Shehu Diko, has also made mention of the fact that there will be more redemption and more breakthroughs in what holds in the world of sports for the year 2026. We are going to have that conversation. The players in currently countries and teams currently that have advanced to the round of 16 are having a bit of break in the ongoing AFCON currently at Morocco, and they are looking forward to getting kickoff of the round of 16 coming up tomorrow evening as at 4 p.m. We'll be seeing actions, but we'll still bring you highlights of match day 3 of the beautiful goals that were scored in the AFCON. Also, yesterday we saw Manchester City and Sunderland settling for a goalless draw, which was more like an upset because a lot of persons expected Manchester City to win that match after the performance we saw from Arsenal, where they won 4-1 against Aston Villa at home. So some fans and sport enthusiasts and pundits were like, okay, Man City should also win their match so as to cover up the gap on the medal on the standings, but that didn't really happen. So the point was shared between Manchester City, Sunderland, and then the EPL, English Premier League, also took 1 point away from the 3 points. So looking at it from those angles now, we are still going to have conversation. I'm still going to bring you highlights of that. And again, something still big happened in the EPL. Yesterday, you remember I made comments of the fact that there is a high chance that Enzo Marescas will be resigning from Chelsea, and that still happened yesterday. He resigned from Chelsea as the head coach because of the fallout that he had with the hierarchy of the team of the management of Chelsea. And again, a couple of coaches are now on the list for the runners, frontiers for the job replacement. That's for the head coach of Chelsea. Then one of them is Strasbourg head coach Liam Rossini, who is the front runner, and also some other coaches also from Europe. We'll be bringing you all of their list, and we'll have a conversation around them on which coach would be better suited for Chelsea. In the world of basketball, we saw Miami Heat taking on Philadelphia Sixers. We also saw Dallas Mavericks taking on Philadelphia Sixers. We saw Miami Heat also in action. We saw Houston, Texas also in action. So Houston Rockets, I beg your pardon, also in action. So we're bringing you all of these highlights, and we have so much more to talk about, and that will start immediately after this break. Stay with us. Yes, many thanks for staying with us. If you're just joining, this is Talk Sports here on Global Television. I am Samuel Odi. Now let's get right into the conversation. Redemption and breakthrough, what 2026 holds for Nigerian sport ecosystem. This is coming from the decks of the National Sports Chairman Alhaji Shehu Diko. He says there were enough success stories and disappointment in Nigerian sport in 2025. Apparently, the magnitude of sport often determines how resounding its successes or failures were, and whichever narrative one here largely depends on who is asking the questions. For the success, they were mostly fueled by individuals' brilliance as usual and a bit of pragmatic administration, while the other side of the story continued to lay bare the fundamental problems of Nigerian sports, from talent identification to infrastructural development. Going into 2026, from the known to the unknown, football readily comes to mind, with Super Eagles largely synonymous with the sports. Currently campaigning at the 2025 African Cup of Nations in Morocco, victory for the Eric Charles-led Super Eagles would represent more of a redemption than an outright triumph. Following Nigeria's ill-fated 2025 campaign, which saw the team fail to qualify for the FIFA World Cup for a second consecutive time, without dwelling on the failure to reach the 2026 World Cup, which will be hosted by the United States, Canada, and Mexico. A fourth continental title in Morocco would be a perfect way to usher in the 2026. The team is well aware of this, having started the tournament with a 100% record in the group stage, winning all 3 matches and scoring 8 goals, the most Nigeria have ever recorded at the stage of the AFCON. So looking at it now, the Super Eagles now are looking very okay on 100%, no injury, massive injury concerns aside the one coming from Onyedika, and Onyedika has played it down and said, no, it's not all that. Like, it's something that he can, handle, and so far, he hasn't been playing because Eric would want to play a player who is 100%. So Onyedika is yet to be on 100%, but so far every other person that is on the camp, that is on ground in Morocco, is healthy, and so far we are seeing beautiful game being played, but something needs to be done differently again. We scored 8 goals and conceded 4, and most of these goals were coming from the point of when Nigeria leads. Like, no team have led Nigeria this season, or rather in this year's AFCON. We get the Super Eagles get the lead first, and then somehow they take the foot off the gas, they lose a bit of focus, and then they get to concede. I think more work needs to be done in the defensive line, because we also saw what happened with Tunisia. Tunisia almost came close to drawing the match after Nigeria went up 3-0, and then towards the second half, the midfield were looking slacky, the defense also was looking slacky, and the Tunisian side capitalized. So going into the round of 16, all of these are not meant to be expected at all. You're winning, just keep the foot on the gas and just keep going until you hear the final whistle. So we'll see how all of this pans out. And then looking at grassroots sport development, over 15 sporting events was hosted here in Nigeria. This is not just local event, but international events that brought other counterparts from contingents from other African countries camped here in Nigeria, some in Abuja, some in Ogun State, some in Lagos, and then we saw that the grassroots development is actually being improved. Just as Malam Shehu Diko mentioned when he assumed office, he says grassroots development is very, very key, and if we don't develop grassroots, there wouldn't be need for international competition. And then so far, we've seen, Nigerian contingents, Nigerian athletes, perform properly and beautifully in the grassroots level, and that has helped with development. So moving forward and going into 2026, there's more success stories that would be told, as the chairman of the National Sports Commission is aligning and doing things that he needs to do to improve infrastructure and also get Nigeria to host most of these international competitions, because our infrastructural development, it's coming up, but still Nigerians are like Oliver Twist, we always want more. So moving on now, let's talk athletics quickly, as Amosun, that's talking about Toby Amosun, enters 2026 among top 3 in the World Athletic Ranking. World record holder Toby Amosun has started the new year with a bang after securing a top 3 position on the World Athletic Ranking list of the best athletes of 2026. 25. The hurdling queen, alongside two other Nigerian athletes, Ezekiel Nathaniel and Chukwuebuka Ikwerechi, are ranked among the world elite, securing positions in the top 100. Their outstanding performances in the hurdle and shot put have kept Nigerian prominently featured on the global athletics stage. Amosun, who captured the silver medal in the women's 100 meters hurdle at the Tokyo 2025 World Athletic Championship, finished the year as the third best in her event worldwide, amassing 1,430 ranking points. She was surpassed by only gold medalist Dejat Kumbert of Switzerland and Americans Grace Stark. At 28, Amosun is the sole Nigerian woman to rank in the top 5 of her discipline, and holds the 28th position in the overall women's ranking for 2025. Meanwhile, Nathaniel Ezekiel enjoyed a phenomenal breakout season, ending the year as the 5th ranked 400 meters hurdler globally and 15th in the men's overall standing. The 22-year-old made a historic Diamond League debut, reaching the final and securing a third place finish. He also became the first Nigerian to run the 400-meter hurdle under 48 seconds, a feat he accomplished 9 times. His national record of 47.11 seconds is a mere 100th of a second of the African record held by Zimbabwe's Samuel Matete. Shot putter is Chukwuemeka, a multiple African champion, also earned a spot in the men's top 100 following his 5th place finish in Tokyo. He concluded the year ranked 100th overall and 7th in his event. Ikwerechi joins Amosun and Nathaniel as the only Nigerian athletes to finish the 2025 season inside the top 10 of their respective disciplines. Congratulations to these athletes. It shows that all work paid. These individuals have been putting in work, and then we are seeing the results. Nigeria know they carry, okay, not Nigeria, Niger know they carry last. That's the word. Because wherever Nigerians are represented, whatever Nigerians do, they strive always to be the best. We've seen Tobi Amosun, who has been setting records for herself over and over again. Ezekiel does the same thing too. And also, we saw Chukwuemeka also doing the same thing in the World Athletic Games that we saw in Tokyo. They kept breaking their own records and then setting new ones for others to follow. So it's just interesting to see that, yes, they were able to make it to the top 10 of each of their disciplines and also maintained a high point at the ranking. So congratulations to these individuals, and we are hoping to see that the year 2026 would be more fabulous than the previous. Just like the Holy Book says, the path of the righteous shines brighter and brighter until the perfect day. So moving on, NFF settles Eric Chille's wages. So this is interesting to see. No distraction of saying there's no money in your pocket. So that's why the Super Eagles are not performing properly. I hope, as Eric is also getting settled, hope the players are also being treated properly. Super Eagles head coach Eric Chille is highly motivated to excel at the 2025 African Cup of Nations after Nigerian Football Federation paid all his entitlements. This is what I like hearing. According to Nigerian sports website, Sports Unlimited, and insiders in Morocco revealed that the French tactician has received his full financial package, including his January 2026 salary. Wow. Eric is in a good state of mind financially. He has been paid all his financial entitlements, including his January 2026 salary. The source told us the coach has earned $60,000. That is 20,000 US dollars per game. He is being paid $400 per day since the camp opened in Egypt. The NFF has done well in this regard. The coaches are happy, the players are not complaining, and the fans are not grumbling because the team is playing very well and winning. No controversial issues at all, he concluded. Chile has led Nigeria to 3 wins from 3 group stage matches, with Super Eagles set to face Mozambique in the round of 16 on Monday, which is something very interesting. So the National Sports Commission, and the NFF have been paying the salary of Eric, and this is just interesting to see that the man is not being owed. So as it stands now, he is owing Nigeria, meaning He needs to do all he can, come up with amazing lineup, amazing formation ahead of the round of 16. So moving on now, still talking AFCON and the readiness of the team ahead of the round of 16 that will be coming up on Monday and the match that they'll be having against Mozambique. Kelvin Bassey have this to say, one of the amazing defenders we have in the current squad. Bassey says he's keen to keeping momentum in the last round of 16. Nigerian Kelvin Bassey has expressed confidence that the Super Eagles, can maintain their strong form as they prepare for the knockout stages of the African Cup of All Nations. Nigeria claimed a 3-1 win against Uganda on Tuesday in their final group stage match, finishing 9 points from 3 games. Eric Chill's team have now been paired with Mozambique for the round of 16 as they aim for the AFCON title. Speaking after the match, Bassey said, "Same energy, we've shown our quality in this group stage and hopefully we can just keep building on this momentum." The defender also emphasized that the squad treated the final group match with utmost seriousness, even though their qualification for the next round was already secured. So saying this now, he did not even play because there was a switch there was a rotation rather in the lineup, and then Kelvin Bassey didn't play. So him not even playing, being on the bench and having this mindset, it shows that the team is locked in and then they don't want what will happen in the previous AFCON to repeat itself. So we'll see how all of this will pan out. We are hoping that they stay locked in and very focused and just keep winning. So this is something coming from one of the strikers who got called up by Eric Chill, talking about Ako Adams. Ako Adams says, "We are a different team. Adams rejects AFCON curses." Super Eagles and Sevillian striker Ako James has dismissed suggestions that Nigeria could repeat their 2021 collapse, insisting that the current squad has a different mindset. The 25-year-old made his debut for Nigeria in Cameroon 4 years ago. Adams says, "Because you did something and failed at it yesterday doesn't mean you will do the same and fail today. That does not happen. It doesn't exist," he says. So looking at it now, the game of sport is actually something very interesting and very different. It's a process. Michael Jordan played over 20 years in the NBA and he only won 6 rings. So he did not feel he still goes down or went down as one of the greatest NBA players. And there's still conversation of who is the greatest basketball player of all time. The conversation is between him and LeBron James. A whole lot of names have been mentioned, but he had also bad days. He also had bad days. He also had bad seasons. So that is the point that Ako James is trying to pinpoint. And then still talking about Nigeria and, the Mozambique game coming up on Monday. This is coming from the Mozambique president. He says, "Beat Nigeria and get 11.3 million each." This is an additional bonus to the players if they get to beat Nigeria. This is coming from the coach, and this is more like a motivational speech for them. Mozambique President Daniel Francisco Chapo has congratulated the members for qualifying for the round of 16 of the 2025 African Cup of Nations in Morocco and announced an extraordinary bonus if they beat Nigeria. The members set up a meeting with one of the most impressive teams at the tournament, Nigeria, after finishing third in Group F despite a 2-1 defeat to Cameroon in their final group match. In a message issued addressed to the Mozambique players and coaching staff, the head of state praised the teams showing in the group stage. President Chapo described the achievement as unprecedented and noting that it filled the nation with pride. Speaking on behalf of the Mozambican people, he commended the players and coaching staff for their courage, discipline, and determination, which enabled the team to reach a new milestone on the continental stage. According to the report, the members' president announced an extraordinary bonus of 500,000 mitia, approximately around 11.3 million Nigerian naira, for each player and member of the coaching staff should they beat the Super Eagles and advance to the quarterfinals of the AFCON. He reaffirmed that the entire nation stands behind the team and expressed confidence in their ability to overcome Nigeria. This is what someone will say monkey they sleep, have you trouble they sleep, monkey they wake up. Well, let's say this is football. Anything can actually happen. But looking at the Mozambique squad, yes, they had a good run. They did put up a very, very good fight in the group stage matches. For me, I wasn't even expecting them to scale through to the round of 16. But now, you're being faced with the African giants, 3 times African Cup of Nations champions, who have been in situations like this, and previously they lost in this stage, and then last season they advanced to the final and lost to Ivory Coast. And then looking at it now, in this slide, would the same thing happen? I don't think the same thing will happen because of the readiness and how focused this team are. But now, what are we expecting? It's 90 minutes. Anything can actually happen. The Super Eagles of Nigeria can actually win, or a miracle can also happen. An upset, rather, would happen for the Mozambican side to also win. And then this prize, this additional bonus that is being, presented to them by their president, is also going to be a different kind of motivation that will want to bring them out to play, to score, and then to try to defend. But they might just get punished if they come out all the way, because looking at the Nigerian attacking powers and what the midfield is doing most recently, I think if they open up their defense so much, they would have themselves to blame. But my fingers are crossed. We're expecting to see that the Super Eagles of Nigeria would actually win, and being a patriotic citizen and also a Mozambican will say, yes, my people would win. But for me, I'm cheering for the Super Eagles, and I think that game is going to end 3-1 in favor of the Super Eagles. That's my prediction for that matchup. So moving on now, let's talk EPL quickly. As Chelsea part ways with coach Maresca, Chelsea Football Club and head coach Enzo Maresca have mutually agreed to part ways. The club announced this via their website a couple of hours ago. During the tenure, Maresca led the Blues to victory in UEFA Conference League and the FIFA Club World Cup, accomplishments the club described as an important part of Chelsea's recent history. A statement on Chelsea's website said the decision was taken with the team's ongoing ambition in mind, with key objectives still to play for across 4 competitions, including qualification for Champions League football. Enzo and the club believe a change gives the team the best chance of getting the season back on track. So looking at it now, the club extended their well wishes to Maresca, thanking him for the contribution, and the separation follows weeks of speculation over Maresca's future after reports emerged that was considering stepping down the former role aimed at growing internal tensions. The tensions have just been going on with the hierarchy of the team, and I think they are not just on the same page so far. And the fans are not also happy. In the last 7 games that Chelsea have played, Chelsea has only won 1, and then it's affecting the stands, and then it's also affecting the qualification rounds that will be happening. This is the second phase of the EPL. A lot happened, so if you don't keep up this time around, it's going to be a problem for the team. Coming Sunday now, Chelsea will be facing Manchester City, who is also trying to, cover up the gap between Arsenal and themselves. That's talking about Man City now. So a whole lot needs to be done, in the well-focused coach who is on the same page with the management and the hierarchy of the club needs to be brought in so as the job will be done. And for Enzo Maresca, I think you have a hand, because somehow his rotational, he's trying this and that, and a lot of those errors contributed to what we're seeing right now. So we just see what will happen as Chelsea is looking towards getting another coach. Now, talking about another coach, this is Liam Rosino. He emerged as a leading candidate for Chelsea's manager role. Chelsea have begun the process to appointing a new head coach following the departure of Enzo Maresca, with Strasbourg manager Liam Rosino emerging as the leading contender for the role. Maresca, who was 45, left his position on Thursday after just 1 season in charge, aimed a report internal tension with Chelsea's hierarchy and ownership. The Italian, who previously guided Leicester City to promotion, departs as the club once again looks to reset its long-term project. Reports reached us today that Rosino, who is 41, is understood to be the front-runner to succeed Maresca, although sources stress that other candidates remain under consideration. With speculation growing over his potential move to West London, Strasbourg are already understood to be considering possible replacement for should Rossino should depart. And also another person who is also on the watch list is Porto head coach Francesco Faroi has also been mentioned as a possible option as Chelsea assess the market for a new head coach. So these guys, I don't really know much. I don't have much to say about them, but let's see. I'm certain that the Chelsea the Chelsea management are trying to do what they can to get the best coach that they can. So we will see if a coach is going to land before Sunday. If not, the assistant coach will just have to step up against the match that will be played against Man City away from home. So EPL, we're still talking EPL. Manchester City title be dented by Sunderland after a goalless draw. Manchester City Premier League team title challenge suffered a major setback as they were held to a goalless draw against Sunderland. Pep Guardiola's side would have closed within 2 points of the leaders Arsenal with a win at the Stadium of Light, but in their first game of 2026 they delivered a slaughtering display that left 4 points drifted off the Gunners. City's New Year's Day stalemate ruined their 8-match winning run in all competitions. City will look to bounce back at home to troubled Chelsea on Sunday after the Blues parted company with boss Enzo Maresca as of Thursday, reportedly on the verge of signing Bournemouth's Ghanaians forward Antonio Simari. Guardiola could do with reinforcement in the attack after his team were frustrated by Sunderland's thunderous performance. So looking at it now, Sunderland were very, very vicious yesterday, and then they defended very, very well. But now, let me bring you a quick